everyone, and welcome to another World of Darkness News Day on the Thanksgiving Day. I really hope that you have a chance to celebrate. If you're celebrating, I wish you very happy celebrations. And in the meantime, we bring you some more news from World of Darkness. This time, very much about the upcoming Choice of Games title, which we've recently announced. After Night Road, Out for Blood, and Parliament of Knives, a very well reviewed and well received interactive novels from Choice of Games that a lot of our players enjoyed. It's time for the fourth one, Sins of Desires. I have the author, Natalia Theodoridou, who joined me for the interview. The interview was recorded previously, so you will see a little quick change of outfits, and I really hope you will enjoy dwelling deeper into what exactly Sins of Desires are about. Let's check it out. Hello, Natalia. It's super nice to see you there today.
Hello, it's nice to be here.
Could we start with you quickly introducing yourself to our audience?
Of course. I am Natalia Theodoridou. I am a writer. Sins of Desires is my third interactive novel for Choice of Games. The first one was Rent a Vice, which was cyberpunk-ish noir about addiction and exploitation. The second one was An Odyssey, Echoes of War, which is basically a queer and feminist retelling of the Odyssey. And oh, yeah,
I'm
I'm now
interested.
working on. You can play it and let me know what you think.
I would love to.
And I'm now working on Betwixt with a team that includes a therapist. It is a text-based game that uses fantasy storytelling techniques to build mental resilience for the players, basically. So yeah, but I'm actually mostly a short fiction writer. I have published a lot of short stories in magazines, some longer things as well. Most of it speculative, all of it pretty dark.
That sounds really cool. And speaking of dark, we're moving from these really interesting concepts that I now have to play towards World of Darkness. And I'm actually wondering, what was your first contact with it?
Well, I only played one LARP almost 20 years ago now, but I was always aware of the world and drawn to the world on a storytelling level because the themes always appealed to me, especially the focus on personal and political horror, and what the line is between those two is very interesting to me. So when my Choice of Games editor suggested that I pitch for this, I was beyond thrilled that I would get to like roll around in the world of darkness. But I definitely do come at it from the perspective of a teller of stories rather than a player.
That's interesting, but you did mention participating in one Vampire the Masquerade LARP that I would love to ask you about. How was it?
Well, it's funny. It was a very DIY thing that my D&D party put together in a village outside of my hometown in Greece. And I don't remember what the storyline was. I don't remember what rules we used. I don't remember much of what we did other than terrorize a few locals. But it's still one of the most memorable, if not the most memorable gaming experience of my life because of the way it made me feel.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that I used Dominate or whatever the equivalent was at the time, and because it was dark and it was quiet and we were deep in character by then, it felt empowering but also complicated and almost shameful in a way. Just imposing your will on someone else like that, for me, throws into question everything you believe about yourself, about your values, about other people, about humanity even. So in a way, that's what I was grappling with in this game, and that's the kind of experience that I was trying to recreate for myself and for players, and just take that as a starting point for the game.
I love it. I absolutely love exploring these themes of how shameful and guilty it may feel to be a vampire, but also terrorizing locals sounds wonderful. So I love that you had a good time. So, what exactly is Vampire the Masquerade Sins of Desires?
Well, it's an interactive novel or a text-based game. It's set in Athens, Greece. which is a city that is torn between the Camarilla establishment and the anarchs. And you, the player, are employed by a Tremere called Marcos, who took you in after your sire abandoned you on the night of your embrace. And Marcos is a kind of facilitator, so everybody in the city, no matter which side they're on, owes him a favor, and that kind of makes you untouchable for a little long, for a time at least. And these tensions already exist in the city, get worse when a rumor starts to spread about an ancient vampire called Aristoboros, who is about to rise, and he wants to bring the end of the Masquerade. And that forces new alliances to take place. It shifts the power dynamics in the city. So your role as a player is twofold. On one hand, you're trying to figure out who you are, who your sire is, and on the other hand, you have to navigate this new threat that the ancient vampire is posing.
That's interesting. And of course, this is the fourth game from the Choice of Games library, let's say, for Vampire the Masquerade. And I'm super happy that we get this many just because all of our fans appreciated a lot the previous ones that they were able to play. We get a lot of really positive comments.
That's nice to hear.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, have you checked out the previous Choice of Games titles for Vampire the Masquerade, and what do you think about them?
Yeah, I beta tested Night Road, and I've picked Out for Blood and Parliament of Knives. So yeah, I love all of them. And Night Road, which is the one I know most intimately, was like a masterclass for me. So it's super exciting to come after wonderful games like these. And I'd say that in terms of mechanics, my game is more similar to Parliament of Knives than it is to Night Road, in that it focuses more on story than it does on stats. And it also falls somewhere between the two in terms of the kind of story it is, in that you start out running errands for your boss that take you all over the city and sometimes outside the city as well. But you are also very involved with very powerful vampires and in their political games and their power games. So there is that aspect from Parliament of Knives as well. But one big difference is that in my game, you don't get to choose what your clan is. You start out as an orphan and you discover who your sire is along the way.
And it can be different sire depending on the course of the game. Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. I'm not gonna tell you which choices affect that, but yeah, you can have different sires, and the storyline gets pretty different depending on who your sire ends up being.
I love it. This sounds really, really interesting. So after we announce Sons of the Sires and after we announce the setting in which the game is going to be, we get a lot of really positive voices from the community members, and we do have a really lively and nice community in Greece that was super excited to see a game set in Athens. Can you tell us more about why did you pick this particular setting, and more about how it exactly works in your world and with the kindred around?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, as you know, it's set in Athens in Greece, and the game deals a lot with identity and questions of belonging, like what makes us who we are, be it human or monster or otherwise. Is it biology? Is it myth? Is it history? Is it where you're born or when you're born? There are questions like who is Greek and who is an immigrant, what makes a nation, what makes a clan. And eventually it ends up asking, might identity itself be a kind of masquerade as well? So that line of thinking is really well reflected in the setting for me, and that's why I chose Athens. We have Greek history exists at the intersection of things like Greek antiquity, Byzantine greatness, Ottoman rule, Balkan cultures, Western European influences. And if you try to take one layer away, you have another layer underneath that, and another one underneath that. So it's like masks behind masks behind masks, except you don't know if you take the last one away if there's going to be anything underneath. So Athens is just perfect for this, because you have elders that grapple with, for example, ideas of grandeur that go back to Greek antiquity. You have vampires that have baggage that go back to the fall of Constantinople. You have vampires that try to get involved and instrumentalize contemporary political tensions, like the rise of fascism in Greece, or the many failures of the Greek state in responding to the refugee crisis and things like that. So it's such rich, fertile soil to play with and explore some of what I see as the core questions of not only my game, but Vampire the Masquerade itself.
That's really interesting. And you speak a lot about, modern Greece and modern Greek problems as well, which is of course very much V5. It feels very much in line of the current edition of Vampire, which takes place in the general now, right? And
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and you also mentioned in the description of your game that there is the ancient figure of Aristobulus somewhere looming over like a a dark cloud over the city. What is exactly? How did you approach this difference in between old and the new, which I assume is even more contrasting when you pick a setting like Greece and with the characters like elder vampires and the neonates? How did you approach that in your writing?
Yeah, well, I'll try not to give too much away. For me, it was important to approach all the different NPCs as complete people with their own personality, their own motivations, their own backstories. So it's not as simple as saying that, for example, powerful elders are less humane or have lower humanity than neonates and vice versa. And that is true to some extent, because elders are further along that game of shedding masks that I talked about. But that doesn't mean they have fewer delusions about what the world is like or what it's like to be human. And sometimes I would even say that the opposite is true. Some elders have such a perverse view of reality. They're so cynical now after all these years that the cynic belief that you can see things clearly becomes itself a distortion. So you're not seeing things as they are because you have less humanity than a neonate. You've simply lost parts of your personality because of all the terrible things that you were forced to do or that you chose to do. And that's a very important part of the game for me. How you hold on to your humanity when you're made into what most people would consider a monster, and what reasons you have to hold on to your humanity. That's the kind of atmosphere I want to work with.
I love to explore that. And speaking of exploring those various themes of humanity and having this protagonist, as you mentioned earlier, in a little bit of a privileged position in the world of vampires because of our sire. And I mean, maybe not the sire, but the person that people think that we are connected with. I am actually wondering what is the difference in between the main protagonist in this game and the previous Choice of Games titles? Because we had a courier so far, we had a human hunter, we had a vampire who was very privileged in the Camarilla court. Where do players start in Sins of the Sires?
Yeah, it's somewhere between the PC in Night Road and the PC in Parliament of Knives, in that you are untouchable, but you are also running errands for your boss in and outside the city. And you are significant to the plot in ways that you're not always aware of. You are young, but also very important to some very important people in the city. And there are opportunities to rise in the Camarilla hierarchy, or there are opportunities to side with the Anarchs and do important things with them, or you can forge your own pretty lonely way ahead. But so you can end up really, really high placed, or really, really low placed, or dead. But I'm trying to make every ending awesome, even if you fail at what you started out to do. I want it to still be awesome.
I am looking forward for the very awesome ways to die in your game. So
it's one of my favorite bits to write.
that's amazing. No, I love games which give me bad endings that I actually enjoy. So I'm going to look forward towards that. Of course, vampire games wouldn't be vampire games without a very exciting set of secondary characters, which are usually super exciting, and we want to get to know them more, even if they are horrible, horrible people. So, which of the secondary characters are you the most excited about players meeting? Anyone that you really like to write for Seas of the Sires?
This is a really tough question because I'm really fond of all my characters. I mean, even someone as vile as the Prince Pisistratos, who is really tough to like. I try to give him some background that will make him, sympathetic to at least some of the players. But if I had to choose, because I talked a lot about identity and the aspect of identity. One of the aspects of identity that is really important to me is gender. So among kindred, I think the character I'm most excited about is Dio, who is a non-binary toreador primogen with a coterie of artists, and they've witnessed a lot of the power shifts in Athens, and they have been involved in some, but they are about to be much more active in what comes next. And among mortals, I really want people to meet Elias, who is a transmasculine phlebotomist who is helping his thin blood friend get access to bagged blood. And he's just so earnest and tries hard, and he's my sweet bloody boy, and I just love him very much.
I cannot wait to meet them, and I am also wondering whether, and I really hope that this game is going to get plenty of fan art and for their characters, because I cannot wait for people to meet them. That's really amazing. So where?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So where can we follow the updates for Sins of the Sires, and where we can follow you to get to know more about you and more about your work?
You can wishlist the game on Steam, and that will give you updates about when it's coming out. You can follow me on Twitter at Natalia_Theodore, and you can also follow Choice of Games on Twitter if you're not already. You can visit my website, which is www.natalia-theodoridou.com. So it's first name, last name. And also people who want to be even more involved can go onto the Choice of Games forum, which is a really exciting place, or sign up to the newsletter and you get all the coming soon updates.
That sounds really good. I cannot wait to play your game, and I hope to see you here again once the game releases. It would be really nice.
Well, fingers crossed. That would be lovely. And I can't
lovely.
wait to hear what you think,
I had so
what
much
you make
fun.
of the game when you play it.
I had so much fun hearing more about this game. I am way more I mean, I was excited for it already, but now I'm way more excited, and I can't wait to play it. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
See you. Bye-bye, Natalia. I hope you enjoyed this little interview we had with Natalia. Sins of the Sires is available to wishlist now on Steam. So if you want to go to Steam, check out in the library Choice of Games, Night Road, Parliament of Knives, Out for Blood, and now Sins of the Sires is available to wishlist. And the wishlisting really helps developers a lot, and it really helps them get better with Steam algorithms, get found by people who do not know about Vampire the Masquerade. So I really recommend you to do that. And in the meantime, speaking of development and video games, there are 4 days, and if you're watching us on YouTube, 3 days left for Vampire Jam and for uploading your own games. If you have just learned about Vampire Jam today, then it is still not too late to join and make a game throughout the weekend that you can submit for our little judging in here. The winner might win the Steam release, among other World of Darkness games, next to Vampire the Masquerade, Coteries of New York, Night Road, Swan Song, and others. So if you want to go to itch.io/jam/VTM, read all the rules, you still are able to join. And we are going to right now connect with Hadi and check out some of the current development on the Vampire Jam and other community creations which we've gathered throughout the last week. So I am super excited to play some of these games. Already 6 games are available in the entries for Vampire Jam, so you can already play 6 of the existing games. And let's check out some screenshots. Let's see if Hadi is there. Everyone, here, Hadi. Hadi is here right now. We're going to cut this little part for YouTube, so this was only free.
I'll cut that for you tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Hadi. No, I can cut it because it was my fault. That's fine.
No, I'll do it. It's fine.
Thank you so much. So we were just talking very briefly about the fact that this week was very much Nosferatu week, and I do see that we have a lot of Nosferatu works in here. So let's start from the beginning. Hadi, could you show us what do we have in the top left?
Yes. Can't believe you muted me, Outstar.
I'm
Horrible.
so sorry. It's never going to happen again.
So throughout the week I always like screenshot stuff that I see when Vamily upload new content. I'm on all the social medias. I'm always lurking around, so always tag me if you want. But a lot of Nosferatu picks, and I tried to pick the ones I like the best because there are more than just these that were floating around this week. I don't know. Everyone's getting into the Nosferatu spirit in November. Nosferatu November, maybe.
Remember.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
And this seems to be just my favorite, the pointy ears. Sad Nosferatu, smoking a cigarette, wearing a beanie. It looks exactly like, it reminds me of Bertram from Bloodlines. So I was just like, oh.
The thing is, every single episode of Vamily Spotlight, we're going to argue about pointy ears of Nosferatu, and I love this tradition. It's a perfect tradition already. As you probably know already, I am not a fan of pointy ears of Nosferatu because I feel like we should have more normal-looking Nosferatu, but everyone else likes them.
I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan.
That's okay. Like we need people like me and you. It's cool. No, but honestly, I love this art. It's great, and it really reminds me of a lot of Nosferatu characters I've played with that were always kind of, I guess they had, more thoughts on the way about the nature of vampirism and being a kindred and this whole mess that we're all in. All other characters were just, blasting through their unlives, doing all of the horrible things they did, and the Nosferatu were always thinking about the bad things we did, which was not a very happy place to be.
I think a lot of Nosferatu are like physically confronted with the beast within, so it maybe makes them more introspective.
Yes,
maybe.
I think so, and I love this, and this really shows this theme wonderfully. And here, the top, this one in here.
This one,
top
yeah.
one.
That Nosferatu is by Saintish, and this is by Horrorlock, and this is a chiassid. And I love it because it's like 19th century, or I'm not really sure the century, Edwardian style clothing.
That's
and I just
really
thought it was
cool.
So well done. The strange, I'm not sure what that is, carrot looking thing in the corner there.
No, that is a carrot looking thing. That's true. I mean, I think it's a parsley. I don't
know. A parsnip?
Parsnip. Oh yeah, not parsnip. Yeah. For those of you folks who are watching us that joined us with the 5th edition of Vampire the Masquerade, chiassids are very much like a part of a legacy lore. They are vampires connected a little bit more to the setting called Changeling the Dreaming, which is not yet in the 5th edition, but I wonder one day, once Changeling the Dreaming 5th or Changeling something 5th edition is going to come, whether we're going to explore any potential crossovers with vampirism. But yeah, if you are interested more, this is coming from the legacy editions. Chiassids were a little bit more Changeling connected vampires, which I think was an interesting concept.
There are a lot of cosplays of chiassid and a lot of chiassid art, more than I expected when I started, actually deep diving into people's art. So it's a fan favorite, I think.
Yeah, fans really liked them because of their very unique looks. They were very tall. They had a different skin color, black eyes, and this white hair. So this was something that definitely attracted a lot of attention. And because of their, in general, quite soft demeanor in comparison to the very outlandish, alienish appearance, I think they were very interesting for a lot of people to explore. Not a part of the 5th edition, but I feel like it's going to be...
Perhaps it's something for people who want to get on Storytellers Vault, perhaps writing
that would be interesting. I've seen some people already exploring topics like gargoyles, etc. for 5th edition, so definitely go check out on Storytellers Vault. Maybe there are going to be some fan-made additions of chiassids to the newest edition. That's really nice. All right, and here we have Darkest Night. Oh, I love this.
I always love finding some cosplays because they're always so good. And this is apparently Carol Lee, who don't know the clan, but they want to reform the Camarilla from within, which sounds like a very anarch idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they look absolutely fantastic. I love the beret.
I love it. It gives me huge damsel vibes, and
Yep.
I live for it. It's so
Exactly.
good. And the gloves are so nice. Beautiful.
hmm
All right, let's get to the top here with
More Nosferatu.
Step Up Your Game. Oh, I love this one.
hmm Now, I'm not as familiar with Fall of London as I am with some other books, so I don't know if Tommy the Nosferatu is a character from Fall of London. I probably should have looked since that would have been better. But even if they're not, this is amazing looking.
I actually do not know either. Yeah, I read Fall of London
I should have
a
looked.
long
It's my
time
fault.
ago, so I don't remember. But they look awesome. They give me a very big. How is that show called? The show with. Oh my God! The gangsters in
Peaky
America.
Blinders?
Peaky Blinders. There we go. You're amazing. So it gives me Peaky
No.
Blinders vibes. It's really.
It does, yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I love it. So good. All right, and then on the left
He
we
has
have
pointy ears.
Miss N11.
Okay, so not Nosferatu, but I really like this just from the description. I had to draw my 80s Wall Street Bruja in her best evening dress for Elysium. And one thing I played a 70s one shot with you. One thing I always would love to see is cosplay of vampires from not like, Victorian times, but like from the 70s or the 80s or the 60s.
Yeah.
Would make me very happy, and I love this.
And I also like the take on the Bruja, which is a little bit different, right? You see that kind of a character, the first thing you could think is Toreador, right? I'm sorry.
Oh, bless you.
You would think Toreador because, beautiful pink dress and cleavage and jewelry, but no, here we have a Bruja, and I love this. It's a great take.
I do too.
All right, and another Nosferatu from Pixar Slayer. Look at this guy.
Yeah. Aesthetically challenged.
Aesthetically challenged.
I disagree. I think this is a great Nosferatu aesthetic, but I know you and I again have different opinions.
No,
about that.
I love it because there are no pointy ears, and it's probably we don't know if he's bald or not.
You don't know.
We don't
can't
know.
see it.
And okay, and he does have long nails, which is the third stereotypical aspect of Nosferatu, which I'm trying to fight. But they are not as long as usually Nosferatu nails are being drawn as. So I'm super fine with this. It looks really good. Now I'm just, of course, with all my Nosferatu comments here, I'm kidding. I feel like all Nosferatu are valid, whether they have pointy ears or not. But this really looks super cool, and I love.
Yeah, I am
the
also
wrinkles.
kidding. Please make your Nosferatu look however you want.
Exactly. And I really like the outfit and the face, and I think it would be a really cool NPC in the video game. Just to come to and hear a very snarky comments about the local factions.
Yes.
And here we have Anna Art. Quick doodle.
And another Nosferatu. Like I said, everyone was feeling the Nosferatu this week.
And this Nosferatu has long hair. I'm so happy.
Yeah, I know. So I thought you would really like this one because this one's sort of more cute and, peace sign. I thought it was more cute Nosferatu.
Yeah, I have this idea going in my head recently about the Nosferatu who was a very, very gorgeous man in his mortal life. He had long hair.
Oh, Cleopatra.
Yeah, but basically a guy. So you have this long-haired guy, super, super pretty, but then after he's embraced, basically his face just, distorted, like he would have some super, super difficult disease that would just eat his skin. And you can still see the beautiful hair and, the clothing style that he used to be a beautiful man, but not anymore. I love this kind of a twist. All right, Storytellers Vault. What's going on the Storytellers Vault? Players Guide.
Last time I showcased I put up a screenshot of Storyteller's Guide, and this time I thought Player's Guide would be nice.
Could you tell us more about the Player's Guide?
Yes, I put the description down here. Embrace all new possibilities for your character with our Vampire Player's Guide. Designed to deeply expand the options for characters, the book allows players to make unique kindred supported by game mechanics, as well as tools for storytellers to flesh out non-player characters. This resource provides a trove of new advantages, flaws, predator types, and disciplines designed to fit within the rules of Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. Over 100 merits, flaws, and backgrounds, and alternate character creation rules, 18 predator types, and rules to create your own, which I thought was really cool,
Yeah.
and 59 discipline. Is that how you spell disciplines? I guess it is disciplines.
I wonder if it's 59 discipline powers or 59 new disciplines. I assume discipline powers.
I would assume so, yes.
Yeah. That's super cool. I am actually super tempted to buy it straight away and check out all of these merits, flaws, backgrounds, predator types, because it's always great to have those expansions. Of course, you know, if you have them in official books, it starts to get a little bit difficult to onboard new players into it if you have too much stuff to throw at them. But having some expansions that people who want to look for more can get them from books like this is super cool. So that's really cool.
Like for me making NPCs, I would really love this.
Do we have the name of the author of this one?
That would have been really good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, if you can check out very quickly. In the meantime, I will see on the right side all my Bloodhunt characters as they were when the servers closed. Oh no, I'm going to be sad.
I thought this is for you. So if you'd like to read through them.
Some info on them under the cut. Bruja, Brute and Vandal. Both of them came from me seeing an outfit I liked and wanting to build a look around it. Brute's probably my favorite look out of all of them. I really like how cool she turned out. It's hard to see, but she has red eyes and red hair tips. Awesome. Nosferatu, Saboteur, and Prowler.
The player's guide is from Table Golf, and I actually knew that as soon as I saw it.
Table Golf. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Nosferatu, Saboteur, and Prowler. Prowler is my main archetype and naturally the one I spend actual money on her outfit. Saw it in the store and just had to have it. I decided that I was willing to spend that much on an otherwise free game that I loved madly and I wanted to support. So nice of you. Love her to bits. My Saboteur is my attempt at making Jasper from LA by Night with the options available. I included the Strauss glasses because I thought it was hilarious. Wow. Toreador, Siren, and Muse. I barely played Toreador. I never really worked out how my whole projection dash worked, so tended to avoid them. The Siren look is really just me showing off that I finished the battle pass. Of course, we all have that one look. While the Muse one is because I really like that shirt and the tattoo, so I wanted to use them somewhere. That's super cool.
I feel like this is something you should have made because your characters were really cool.
I did post them on Twitter, like some.
Oh, I missed it. My bad.
Yeah, but I didn't like write full descriptions like this. I think I should really do that. I absolutely loved how my character looked in the end. I have full backstory in my head for 3 of them because they were just so cool. And I just missed this game already. Day after they closed the servers, Hadi was Hadi's a part of like a little gaming server we have just to play games together. And she saw us just, hey, anyone wants to play blah? Oh wait, and everyone just posted sad emojis.
Sad crying emojis.
Yeah, and it was so sad. No, honestly, I am going to just like follow all of the social media of Bloodhunt super closely for any chance that there's going to be any weekend, because they did promise some open weekends before the game is going to release. And I'm just going to jump in straight after the game is going to be back, because I miss it already. I miss it super hard.
And I actually had put the person who made this thing in here, but I think I accidentally deleted it because I know I put it there.
I do believe it's Elvenda here in chat. Elvenda.
Yes, that sounds correct.
Yes, thank you so much, Elvenda, for doing this. It's beautiful, and I really hope to meet you in Bloodhunt one day and do some friendly diablerie.
Always friendly.
Always friendly. Exactly. All right. LA by Night. Oh, what's going on? From Fukula.
So as you can see, Jason commented on this one, and so did Josephine McAdam. And this is sort of a if you know type of a thing. But at one point in season 5, Eva is performing Firewalker for all of the coterie, and that requires a fingertip.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just sitting in the corner cutting off her fingers and doing this over and over again, and she's left with, I think, just the finger guns.
Yeah.
And so this person just sort of finger gun Jasper, and I just think it's absolutely perfect.
I love how
it's
Jasper...
just such a
Jasper doesn't see it as anything disgusting. He's just like blushing and being
Yep.
like really happy about it. It's amazing. I love it. Tremere, like they start growing on me again, and I feel bad about this because it's because of you and you forcing me to play Tremere.
You played an excellent Tremere.
I feel like, Tremere are actually way cooler than they said for so many years, and my identity is crumbling.
Who am I now?
Who am I?
Someone who plays Tremere?
Exactly. No, but this is wonderful. I love stuff like that. It's so good.
Mhm.
And we have Jasper. Oh, look at this guy from Kalika on Tumblr.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I actually did put the name there. Oh, terrible.
I did. No, don't worry. It's awesome.
This one really kept. I mean, again, there's so much LA by Night fan art. I could just like with so much stuff, I could just flood the whole whiteboard. But this one really caught my attention because of the eyes
Yeah.
and the difference in the eyes.
Yeah, it's like you sometimes do that to make a character like in the cartoons or comic books to look like they are looking at something doubtfully. So they doubt you, or they are basically like not fully trusting you, or they're ironizing, like sarcastic look. Like it's often that's in comic books and cartoons there is this like little one eye is bigger, one eye is smaller, like what? and I feel like it really nicely shows Jasper's just watching at whatever he's saying right now. It's really cool.
I think it's the default face for Jasper.
Default face. Speaking of which, we have Elvenda here in chat that just shares that her Tumblr name is Never Trust an Oracle. I'm going to put it right there. Never. Is it there? Oh my god, it's so small.
I know.
72. That's better. Okay. Never trust an oracle. I think that's good.
That's an excellent username as well.
Yeah. All right, so we have this here just for the people who are watching us on YouTube, so they can see the Tumblr. Super cool. I'm going to check it out later. And now going to the part which I am screaming about every single day, and I swear to everyone, what I'm doing is I basically just throw these at the faces of everyone in our team all the time, every single day, just like, look at this, look at that, look at this, it's amazing. And they are still not bored of me and of all of you. They still think that it's amazing and they would love to see more. And we can't wait to play all of these games just in 4 days. So yeah, let's start from top left.
So you can see a lot of the devs are finishing up a lot of things, and sort of a lot of them are coming up with character creators or characters that you can play or options and things like that. So here's the first one from Urban Magi that I showcased them last week as well, and we have 6 playable characters here.
Awesome.
6 different clans. Yeah,
that's also like such a big scope. Hey, let's take 6 classes you can play on the start. Like
I know
it's a very big scope. So, and they all look really, really cool. What I think, I am just guessing here, Urban Magi did here is they took images from Artbreeder, and
it looks like it, yeah.
And then they very like sharply edited them in a graphical software to add them this particular red and black look, which I think is a really cool like graphical style. It's actually like with little effort you can really get some really cool results. So I like it. I like their characters in them. I think that this looks interesting. And I would, out of all of these, actually probably pick a Tremere to play. So,
really?
Yeah, I think like she looks cool. I think it would, or a Ventra. Ventra looks awesome too. One of these two.
I'd have to go Bruja.
Yeah. I think that's also cool.
That's usually the character I pick. If it's a playable character and one of them is Bruja, I usually pick Bruja.
Nice.
I just feel like I'm going to survive if I'm a Bruja.
Where do your Bloodlines playthrough also, like the first playthrough, also Bruja?
No, but that's because there was a quiz to like, there's the quiz in the beginning to which one would be the best, which one are you? And I got Nosferatu, which is arguably the hardest one. So.
But it's awesome. I love playing as Nosferatu in this game. It's so good.
For the first run through is probably not the best idea. I don't recommend it.
That's true. Not for the first one, but for the third, second or third, it's really, really cool.
Yes.
All right, and I do see, speaking of bloodlines, I do see a poster which I very much
Yes.
recognize.
I thought you would really like this. So this is Blind Recluse or Clips on Twitter, and they are apparent for whatever game that they're making. I did look through their Twitter, and I couldn't really find which exactly, or it might not have a name, or Vampiricia might be the name.
Hmm.
And they are using some collectibles and remaking them for their game. And this is just such a beautiful reimagining of the poster from Bloodlines.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. Yeah, I feel like people should definitely reimagine them because the originals, they don't really stand up
Hold
to
up.
the to the course of time, you know.
Yeah.
And most of them were very low res, and you know, a little bit like the scale was off. So making them over, super cool idea, and I love this. I saw also someone making over Damsel poster back in the days, which was also
Yes,
really
I
cool.
saw that as well.
Yeah. All right, Ghost, Lost Ghost Gal. I've seen these. I am so in love. So good.
Yeah, this is going to be really cool. This is Vampire the Masquerade domain, and they're going all out. They have Anarch and Camarilla and clans representing them, and I just think they look so fantastic. And Outstar, there's a ministry.
Oh, there is! Finally!
Yeah.
Yay! I'm so happy. No, I am. I just love the art style for this game. This is kind of like, you know, like the indie style, because we don't very often see that this typical indie style that is prevalent in a lot of the game jams that I see, where people try to make those a little bit more like 2D oriented, cartoon oriented sprites and art that is, you know, available to be done in a short amount of time, so you can actually draw them very quickly and put them in the game. And this gives me this vibe, the vibe of an indie game, you know, with those very cute 2D sprites, and I love it. I am so looking forward to this one. Aesthetically, it's just making pulling all of my strings, so I'm super happy. So cool. All right, and let's go to the left to Deception. I've seen this one.
Yeah, and I put the link, the Twitter up there, so if you wanted to actually play the menu, the way that it looks, I mean, so fantastic. These devs are really just going all out for this jam. It's amazing.
Let me see if I can actually check it out. Here. Can people hear it? Wow. This sounds like a vampire game. It's very quiet, so people won't be able to hear it very well, but it really sounds like a vampire game. Damn. So good. I am so looking forward to this. This is awesome. This is such a good job. All right, and let's go.
You can tell Outstar can barely contain her excitement.
Yeah, I just want to play all of these games. Okay, and let's go straight below to Safe Milk here.
Safe Milk is doing so much. There's so much stuff I could showcase from them. They have dev vlogs, so if you go to YouTube and just type in Safe Milk, you'll find their channel. And this is their Second Inquisition stuff, and I'm just like, look at it. That is the scariest Second Inquisition I've ever seen.
Yeah, I don't know where they took the models from or whether they made them, which would basically absolutely blow my head out, because it's what? But this actually super fits. This kind of like, it has something in it from, some religious influences here. I'm thinking like
what
nuns.
I thought.
Yeah, or something like that. And then you have this, made as the armor and like even closing your view. So basically you're maybe not as viable to any dominate or any presence or anything like that.
It's very like Templar-like.
They made them from the scratch?
Yeah, Watery Tart, who is also a dev, is saying that Safe Milk made them.
I was like, this has to be a bot model. Like, come on. What? This is crazy. It looks so good. I'm sorry. I'm too excited about this. But honestly, I am completely in love with this design. It's so SI for me. I can't. And I'm going to be super terrified of them as a vampire. So.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow. And then they are all gone, which is, at least they are still susceptible to guns. I guess you cannot dominate them, but you can still get some lead in there.
That is why I pick Bruja. That is exactly the point I was trying to make.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Sometimes a brute force is the best force.
Yeah.
You know? And speaking of Bruja, I see another Bruja here from Bilbo
Yeah.
Games.
Yeah. So again, a lot of the tweets and there are people talking about the deadline coming up, which, as you've mentioned a few times, is in 4 days.
Yeah.
But look at this little Bruja.
This is a
Look
cute
at this little
Bruja.
fist.
Does he has what? Does it say anus on his chest?
Oh no, I didn't. It does. It says it actually. It's with umlaut, so it says anus.
Anus. If I ever saw a patch like this, I would immediately sew it to my jacket. So very good choice.
Sure, absolutely.
I love him. He's a really cute little guy. This is okay. So it's for a visual novel. I am interested
Yes.
in that. I wonder how it's going to go. Good
Yeah, I
luck.
love visual novels.
Yeah, and I've seen a plenty that are being made for the gem, so there's going to be plenty to play. I very much hope for you to join me on some stream next week, so we can maybe voice act them together, so we can just go.
Oh,
for them and-
absolutely. You name the time and the place.
Awesome, let's do it. All right, and here we have David Tveras with oh yeah, this game, this really cool game that I also cannot wait for.
Yep, this is Vampire the Masquerade Absolution, and if you want to click on the Twitter link, you can also see their character, very quick little thing of their character creation.
Let's check it out. Oh yeah, it's the choice of, let me just, oh yeah, there we go, choice of characters. So it's specialty. I'm not sure if I can just maybe just go closer here. Unseen Passage, Vanish.
Ooh, Blood of Potency for the Banu Hakim. That's nice. And a Banu Hakim, which makes me really happy because I love the Banu Hakim.
Super interesting. I think Banu Hakim are a great clan to pick for video games in general. They're very, very playable in like a video game setting, very cool abilities. Nice. Looks really good. Can't wait to play it. I saw animations from this game that made me very happy about the whole quality so far from what I've seen from videos, and I am just very much looking forward to it. And we have playable clan reveal for Banu Hakim, Tremere, and Malkavian. So cool.
Oh yeah, I love the Banu Hakim. If anyone does it, Sombra's my favorite clan. Banu Hakim is definitely second.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks my second is Nosferatu because of my shirt, but that's just a homage to Bloodlines.
I was for a very long time, Banu Hakim was kind of like maybe not my least favorite clan, but the one that I didn't really fully grasp after reading the book for the first time. So I challenged myself a few years ago, like it was I think 2 years ago, to actually create a Banu Hakim character just because they were so alien to me. And I immediately just got drawn in. It was so fun to play him. He was, I basically made a werewolf hunter, Banu Hakim, who was just, very committed to protect his city from the threat of werewolves.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
The first Banu Hakim character I ever made, which I still haven't gotten to play yet, is I made them a lupine hunter.
Oh, really? You also used the lore sheet and all?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. See, we had the same idea.
Oh my God.
Because my idea was, okay, like vampire Batman. So who is the vampire Batman going to protect the city from? Werewolves.
It's gonna be the Banu Hakim.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
So cool. I love it. All right, so let's go to David Littlebro. Nosferatu NPC. Wow.
Yeah, for VTM Home.
VTM Home,
which I believe is a visual novel as well.
I love the style. This is so good. Also, good luck making quality of drawings like this and making a game in a month. Like, I am just like blown away. Like, you have a month and you're putting so much effort in drawing. It's amazing. I love it.
I'm sorry, you made Santa Monica by Night in 3 days with 8-bit memories, and it was fantastic.
But it was a pixel
Imagine
game.
what you could have done if you had 30 days.
I did participate in a 30-day game jam once. It was my very first game jam I ever participated in, and a guy, a very big YouTuber, for some goddamn reason played our game afterwards in some like Indie Wednesdays show that he did, and there was a comment under his video saying, "Is it just me or is this game utter shit?" And I just commented, "Yes, it is utter shit, author of the game."
I remember that. It was like from 12 years ago or something, right?
Yeah, but like it was a great experience. It was an educational experience. The game was shit, but the experience was great, and I wouldn't change it for anything else. I learned a lot. So yeah, amazing artwork, amazing quality. I cannot wait to play it. It's so cool. Oh wow, That Witch Crawls. Check this out. I haven't seen this one.
Yeah, so these were sent to me privately because That Which Crawls they don't have any social media. But they sent me these privately, and I thought I would show them off of the game that they're working on.
Wow. This looks so good and the high
Right?
quality too. Damn. I cannot wait to
They
play
sent
this.
me more things of like I don't know, like coding stuff, or I'm not sure because I have no idea what it means. So I just put the screenshots of like a character. But they sent me like a lot of stuff.
Sure, I'm interested in all of this stuff, but this looks.
I'll send it to you.
Okay, no, this looks super cool. I cannot wait to hear more about this. Everyone, only 4 days left. Just letting you know, so we can please play these games, so we can upload them and we can play them and judge them. Because I would love to be able to play them, even if they are not finished, even if you are not happy with some bugs or something. Push them out. It's fine. It's gonna be okay. All right, and that's all. And oh no, wait, we still have Vampire the Masquerade Jam, the games which are already out. Can you tell us about every single one of them?
Sure. So, so King of New Orleans is about, I believe they are a Toreador who own a bar in New Orleans, and I don't want to say anything more because stuff happens almost immediately upon playing it.
Yep.
Vampire Empire City Builder is a game where you are the child of a Ventrue, and I'm not sure if the Ventrue is the prince, but it's definitely a high-ranking Ventrue. And they are basically giving you money and saying, build the city, get supplies, get blood, and don't get blood hunted or eaten by werewolves.
Yeah.
Or your business is destroyed by werewolves. Time by Vin is a visual novel where you are embraced. You started off as just having been embraced, and you trying to figure it out as you're trying to get home at the same time. And the cat plays a prominent role. That's why there's a picture of a cat there.
Yes, I saw a comment under this game like, this game has a cat. It's the best game.
Yeah. Gangrel is a game similar to Time where you are recently just embraced and you're sort of just figuring it out. And if you can't tell, you're embraced by a Gangrel. Vampire Soulsucking, I'm not sure if that is a VTM game. I haven't tried it yet. Because just from the screenshots, it looks like not something I expect, but I still need to download it and try it.
Yeah, I would just make sure to be cautious. Some games may be a spam ads, and we've seen from like we did get in touch with the author to make sure that the game is free because originally it was paid.
That's right.
And currently it's still pay what you please, so you can still download it for free, but it gives you a prompt to pay, so it breaks the rules. So we need to make sure that this is being sorted out before the game can be submitted and officially like approved for the jam. So yeah.
And VTM Toffet doesn't have anything uploaded yet besides just a few screenshots.
Okay, yeah, I saw it that the developer was still working on it because I was checking like during one day and there was things changing. From all of these games so far, I've played King of the New Orleans and Gangrel, and what I like the most about them is from King of the New Orleans, I loved the music, which is like such a good pick of songs. It was amazing. And for Gangrel, I really loved the kind of original approach to visual novel where instead of using graphics, use photography. To showcase the locations. I think it was a super cool idea to instead of focusing on drawing and doing like graphics, you just pick photos. And
I think Gangrel's was all taken by the author of it, all the photos.
Yes. So basically everything was just self-made, homemade, and this is also like very much of an added factor. So yeah, I played these two. I haven't played the others yet. I'm trying my best to leave all of them for after the deadline is over, so we can go through them after all of the updates that people can still make. And yeah, I cannot wait to see more that are going to be added in the next few days. So 4 days left, everyone. Please make sure to upload them on time. And yeah, we're going to get to the judging right after. Thank you so much, Hattie, for joining me today. It was so fun.
Thank you.
And I hope to see you, maybe not next week. I'm not sure if we're going to have a new show next week because we have some things planned for that day. But I will be updating you for the streams next week. We are definitely going to go and do a Vamily Spotlight stream for the game jam specifically. So we're going to play these games. Thank you so much, Hattie. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And thank you so much, everyone. As usual, please don't get lost in the night. And next week, we're going to update you for social media about when exactly the stream is going to happen, when we are going to play the Vampire Jam games. And again, if you haven't participated in the game jam yet, but you want to, you still have the weekend, and you are able to make the full experience throughout the weekend if you want to. I did a workshop that is posted on the World of Darkness YouTube channel, in which you can check out exactly how to make a game from scratch if you've never made one. I would recommend, if you're jumping in last minute, to maybe try making a text game, which is something that you can literally make in one day and have something ready. So yeah, please feel free to join and have fun playing these games. Please do play them. Please do comment on them on the each pages of each developer, because they really want your feedback and they want to hear more from people playing their games. Thank you so much, and see you.